All right, so we will need about 4 or 5 very ripe bananas. These were frozen because sometimes when I have bananas that I haven't used, I freeze them, and we're going to process them to make 3 cups of banana puree. This is banana puree, and we will need 3 cups or about 4 to 5 very ripe bananas, let me say that. And then we will add the half a tablespoon of baking powder, half a tablespoon of baking soda. Then we will add 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder, which doesn't have alcohol. We have 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm just going to do a quick blend there, and that's it. The oven is heating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put this all the wet ingredients here in a big bowl. And to this big bowl, I will add some of the other ingredients. And I am using aluminum-free and sodium-free baking powder. You can find that, and I think it is important to find aluminum-free baking powder because we don't need aluminum in our bodies. It's been found to appear in the brain of people with Alzheimer's. So what else do we put here? We put 4 cups of raw shredded carrots. And just look at this beautiful thing here. Bananas, just basic bananas. Yes, they have been pureed, but it's real food. Then we have 4 cups of chopped very finely, the more finely chopped, the better, of apples. And make sure you get very sweet apples. I would not use green apples for this. So look at this. This is all unprocessed ingredients pretty much. And the only processing would be that I pureed the bananas. And this is the applesauce. That's 1 cup of applesauce. It doesn't have any added sugar or anything. It is just the apples. And you will need to spend a few minutes here to incorporate all these ingredients really well. And then this is optional, but if you can, put half a cup of raisins or dry currants. Again, if this is going to be a trigger for you, I really don't care for nuts and seeds and dry foods. I don't have any addiction to them, so it won't bother me. And then that is the ground millet, 1/2 cup of ground millet. Personally, I think that this is a very important ingredient so that the muffins are not chewy. I think it gives it a very good texture. And then you will use 3 cups of gluten-free, if you can find the gluten-free rolled oats. And I didn't process them just as they came out of the bag. I didn't make flour with them. So those are rolled oats, 3 cups. And like I said, it's gonna take you a few minutes to really blend it really well and combine it and incorporate it, and that's it. You're just going to get 2 silicone muffin pans, and each one has 12 muffins, and yes, you end up with 24 muffins. And believe it or not, they do rise a little because they have the they have the baking powder and the baking soda, and they don't rise a lot like if they had processed flour. So you want to really fill them up to the top. Look how much I fill them up. all the way to the top like a little dome. And you will put these in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes or until the tops are brown. And then turn off the oven, open the door, and allow the muffins to cool completely in the oven. One of the benefits of this recipe is the aroma. Your house smells so good when you're making these muffins, and they're very moist. And so it is tea time, everybody. I love a nice cup of hot herbal tea. And I'm going to enjoy this cup of herbal tea with one of these muffins. The C.R.A.M muffins are ready, and oh boy, they smell good. The whole house smells like apples and cinnamon. It's wonderful. What is better than a really good cup of hot tea, freshly made herbal tea? Delicious. And Chef AJ's famous C.R.A.M muffins in honor of Dr. Lyle. C.R.A.M stands for carrots, raisins, apples, and millet. And of course, a good amount of oats. And I want to see if I can part it so you can see the inside. Let's give it a try. The first thing that comes to mind is that it is moist. It is not a dry muffin. And there's that really good combination of the carrots, the apples, the raisins, the applesauce, the spices. I have to, and the bananas, of course, I forgot that. It has to have bananas, but you can barely taste the bananas. You would think you would taste more because there are about 5 bananas there. Now here's the secret. How sweet these muffins are will depend entirely on how ripe bananas are. Do not use bananas unless they're very ripe. Those that you look at and say, well, I don't know if I'm going to eat this one because, it's really brown outside. That's what you want. You also want to have the sweetest possible apples. Remember, there is no processed sugar here, or any kind of sugar for that matter. There's no maple syrup, there's nothing. So the sweetness of these muffins is going to come from the carrots, the bananas, and the apples. Very important. So that's why they vary. This time, they're not as sweet as other times I've made. So I imagine it was because of the bananas. But for me, that I'm not used to eating so much sugar anymore, this is fine. I'm pretty sure that if I give this to just a regular person that doesn't eat a whole food plant-based diet, they will probably say that it's not sweet enough. If you have to take it to a party or something and you want people to eat them,
and to see that a whole food, plant-based way of eating is not depriving, you could sprinkle maybe a little bit of sugar or powdered sugar, or maybe it's a little bit of maple syrup on it. It's, you know, it's not going to kill anyone. And of course, if you are suffering from sugar addiction, you don't want to do that. I hope that you enjoy the C.R.A.M. muffins and that you will make them. And I want to tell you about my first episode of The Pianist and the Chef. That is really fun. The link to register for that is in the description area of this video. And in it, I have 3 recipes that are original. And one is gnocchi, which are those potato dumplings kind of things, pasta, Italian pasta, gnocchi. They're entirely potato. They're the traditional way, has some flour in it. And I show you how to make these gnocchi with the traditional way with some flour, although it's very little. And then I also show you how to make them just with potato. And to accompany the gnocchi, a heavenly tomato sauce, I call it, that I make. And I think you will see how it goes perfectly with the gnocchi. And the third recipe is my magic stuffed and roasted pears. I call them magic because they disappear almost like that, and you wonder what happened. They're pears that are roasted with apples and with cherries, and there is some an ice cream sorbet to go with it. It is just too good to be true, but it is good. So the link is there if you'd like to register. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please help me by subscribing and visiting my website, plantemas.com. Until the next recipe, bye-bye.